How you doing? I'm Kevin O'Hara for Alcohol Mastery. This is Stop Drinking Alcohol 60. I want to talk a little bit later on just about a mind shift that you can take about your symptoms and cravings and side effects, all that kind of stuff. But first of all, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the forum. As you know, the forum is up and running on the site. It's going really well. There's a lot of registrations, but not many people are using the forum as yet. I understand that's going to change over the course of time, and you know, there's different reasons why people don't use it. I mean, you know, some people are probably waiting until it's a bit more populated, and other people are you know, just enjoy taking a back seat, which is fine by me. It's all, you know, it's there for everyone, and everyone will get something different out of it. So on the other hand, if you're having any difficulties or problems with the forum, like posting or starting new topics or anything like that, just let me know. I'm going to put up a video in the next week or so. So if you have any problems or difficulties, if you've got any suggestions about the forum, then and if you want them to be included in the video, then let me know. You know, within the next few days or so. After that, let me know anyway, and I'll try and sort out things. But hopefully, I can do a video. I mean, to me, I've been around computers and the internet for a long time, and even I had a bit of difficulty with some of the operations on the forum. So, you know, don't be afraid to put your hand up if you're not sure about what you're doing. You know, and it won't take me long to do a video. So let me know anyway. One of the things I wanted to talk about this week was go back to the symptoms and the cravings, side effects again, because it seems to be a massive fear amongst people. You know, it's one of the big fears about what the side effects are going to be like afterwards, what the cravings are going to be like, how long the cravings are going to last, how long the symptoms are going to last, and how bad the symptoms are going to be. And there's so much information on the internet these days, and most of it, 95%, is repeating the same tired bullshit, you know, that everyone's going to go through the same thing, or just a big long list of symptoms. And if you read that and, you know, take half of it to heart, then I'm not surprised that people are fearful. And then there's also well-meaning individuals who will come out and tell you, well, you know, when I quit, this happened to me, that happened to me. But I think most of it is in the head. I mean, the fear anyway. I think you can really wind yourself up with all this stuff, and you can wind the fear up until it's almost paralyzing. I think an alternative way of looking at this, or an alternative way of approaching it, is to ask yourself and to keep in mind why you're quitting in the first place. You know, what is it that is happening in your life that is making you want to quit? You know, what exactly is happening in your life, to your mind, to your body, that is making you want to stop drinking alcohol? And there's going to be no one definitive answer to this. You know, even for an individual, it's normally a lot of different things that have added up over the years, and you know, now it's just come to a head, and you know, this is where you're at, and this is where the decision lies. You know, you might feel that you're spending way too much money on booze. You might feel that you're spending way too much time drinking or thinking about drinking. If you're thinking about it, then definitely you're getting some mental suffering or physical suffering because of the boozing. You know, maybe you're getting pains in your liver. That was one of my things. Maybe your relationships are starting to suffer. Maybe your work is starting to take a battering, you know, if you work for somebody else or if you work for yourself. I had a lot of different reasons for wanting to quit alcohol. One of them was because of the hangovers. For a start, I was having to drink more and more and more, use more alcohol in order to get the same level of buzz. It was the hangovers that were really getting to me. They were just getting so bad. I understand more about hangovers now. I understand that it is toxic poisoning, it's alcohol poisoning, and I've read a lot about alcohol poisoning in the past. Whenever you search on the internet, for instance, about alcohol poisoning, you'll find it's usually in the case of teenagers who have literally drank too much, and they're talking about acute alcohol poisoning. So your alcohol levels have risen to such a degree, your blood alcohol levels, that there's a risk of your entire body shutting down, piece by piece, organ by organ. But I'm talking about the literally long-term alcohol poisoning, and that's basically what my hangovers were. They were just my body reacting really badly to all the toxins that were in it, and giving me big and fair dues warnings. I think the first signs of alcohol poisoning are basically when you start getting drunk. I think that's the first level of alcohol poisoning, and then it just gradually gets worse and worse as the night goes on. And like I say, I used to drink to unconsciousness. Sometimes half the time I wouldn't even remember getting into bed at night. And the first time that my awareness would sort of come back was in the early hours of the morning, maybe 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, after I'd been in bed for 3 or 4 hours maybe, and I wake up, and then I know that I had a hangover. I always remember the dry mouth more than anything else. You wake up in the morning with that dry mouth, and despite all the liquid that you've consumed, it's the alcohol itself is a powerful diuretic. It really dehydrates you. And I've said this before, but on a good night, on a bad night, I could drink 20 or 30 pints. So all that liquid, and yet I still woke up feeling like I hadn't drank in a week. It's a bit like seawater. There's so much of it around, but you can't touch it. It's poison. It's not going to cure your thirst at all. But like I say, I'd wake up maybe 3 or 4 in the morning, and I knew that was my night's sleep gone. I wouldn't be getting back to sleep again. And when you talk about sleep, never really got to sleep. I don't know how long it was before I stopped drinking that I ever had a proper sleep. It was always a comatose, and you were never really going into the sleep that you needed to have in order for your body to recover, in order for your mind to recover. You just never got into that level of sleep. It was only when I quit drinking, I stopped putting the poison into my system, that I really started getting good night's sleep. And it didn't take that long before I noticed the difference. I didn't need as much sleep, and sometimes it took me a bit longer to drop off, but just because I wasn't used to letting my mind drift around. Normally it was like gone. There was no thinking, no thinking about what I was doing tomorrow, no thinking about anything. It was just pure, out cold, unconscious, comatose state of mind. Whereas when you stop drinking, then you've got normal thoughts going through your head. It's like, what the hell is this? This is not supposed to be happening at bedtime. It's normally sleep before head hits pillow. Now it's head hits pillow and all this thought, what the hell is this? and your mind just thinks about stuff, and normally it's like, I can't go to sleep. I want to go to sleep. Why can't I go to sleep? Well, because you're thinking about not being able to go to sleep. But during those nights when I would wake up at 3 or 4 in the morning, my mouth would be dry, my head would be pounding, like a jackhammer in my head. And from what I've read, your brain actually shrinks every time you have a lot of drink, and it's because of the dehydration that your body is expelling so much water that it has to pull it from somewhere. And I don't know where in the time frame it comes, but it definitely starts coming from your brain at one stage. And I think that pounding in my head was my brain rattling around in there, trying to get some water from somewhere to get back to its normal size, maybe. I don't know. That's the way I think about it. So there I was, 4 o'clock in the morning, mouth really dry, head pounding. My heart would be beating really fast and just pounding and pounding in my ears. I could feel it, almost wanting to leap out of my chest. And I think that was the most scariest feeling of all. Lying there, feeling ill, and thinking, I'm going to have a heart attack here. The amount of times that I thought that, and then I couldn't get it out of my head, and I just had to get up. So I get up out of the bed, stagger into where the computer is, switch on the computer, and try and bring my mind somewhere else, basically away from those dark thoughts. I just, where was I taking myself? What the hell was I doing to myself that I was getting such bad symptoms? If I was to stay in bed, all I would be doing would be thinking negative thoughts about what I was doing to myself, waiting for the dawn to come, tossing and turning. There was just no point in doing that, So then I'd spend the rest of the day, and perhaps the next day, sitting in front of the computer, watching crap TV, venturing in and out of the kitchen to grab the greasiest food that I could find. I think the greasy food, sugary foods, they're just comfort foods, and they're giving me comfort at this time. So I'm eating as much as I can, as much as I want, stuffing my face full of them, and not really giving a damn. I feel like shit, and I couldn't give a shit about myself at this present moment in time. So that's the way I'd spend my hangover days, which was, generally getting to the stage where the hangover days were more than the non-hangover days. One of the biggest reasons for that was because of the hair of the dog. It's one of the cures. It's a way of getting yourself away from the feeling, to sort of, 2, 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, then have a bottle of wine, crack open the first bottle of wine, or have a can of beer. And it would take a while to get the first drops down, because they would taste awful. You just didn't want to be drinking that. Not really. It didn't taste nice. But then after a while, your body gets used to the taste again, and whoopie-doo, you're away again. And that's where the whole vicious circle starts. That scenario goes on day after day after day. The more I use alcohol, the more toxins are going into my body, the more my cells are absorbing the toxins. And my body and brain are absorbing all the nasty toxins. And I ask myself, if the hangovers are going to get worse, is this it now, or have I hit sort of rock bottom? Of course they're going to get worse. I mean, the older I get, the more I drink, the deeper the toxins are going to affect me. The more toxins are in my body, so I'm adding more and more to the toxins. And the hangovers are only going to get worse and worse and worse. And the way I see it is that eventually I'm going to have to start drinking in the morning. As soon as I get up, I'm going to have to start doing that just to be able to take the edge off the hangover, in order to focus my mind at all, in order to get up out of my bed. I'm going to have to start drinking in the morning. That's a scary thought. Eventually, there will be no alcohol-free days. There will be no alcohol-free moments. And I will just drink until I die. And once I die, I'll go into the funeral directors, down below where they work on your body, and they won't even need to embalm me because I'll have done the job for them over the years. What a scenario. You know, tolerance is a great thing. It's where your body is helping you out. It's, you know, building up a resilience towards the toxins that you're putting into your body. But it can only go so far. Eventually, your body will get overwhelmed by the amount of toxins that you're putting into it, and it will not be able to deal with it. So it only makes sense that the symptoms of drinking, the side effects of drinking, the cravings for drink are going to get worse and worse and worse. You're going to need more and more and more alcohol in order to satisfy those cravings, in order to diminish those symptoms and to alleviate those side effects. You know, and I truly think that at the end of it, your body will just not be able to tolerate any more alcohol, and those symptoms, that hangover itself, will become a permanent fixture in your life. I just don't think you'll be able to get rid of it. I think that will be the reality for you. That will be your perception of everything. Then will be covered in this big, horrible hangover. So why am I telling you all this about my hangovers and about where I think my hangover would eventually have led, my drinking would eventually have led, and I think that everyone's drinking will go that way, is because you might be under the disillusion that the discomfort that you're going to feel when you do quit drinking is going to be really bad. You know, the reality is that you have to take a good look at the suffering and pain that is being caused in your life right now because of the drug that you're taking and because of the effects of the drug that you're taking. You know, we don't stop drinking, we don't consider stopping drinking because we're sick of getting drunk. You know, we don't want to get drunk anymore. That's not why people do it. It's because being drunk is affecting our lives in a negative way, because it's affecting our bodies and our minds and our relationships and so many other aspects of our lives. Every other aspect of my life was being affected by it, I would say. You know, an alternative way of looking at it is that if you don't stop drinking, that those symptoms and cravings and side effects of drinking, of taking the drug, are not going to get any better. They're going to get worse. And I guarantee you that. You know, it's just physically impossible for you to carry on drinking and for your body to magically recover, or your life to recover and to get better and stuff. It's just not going to happen. So if you're worried about the discomfort that you might go through when you quit, nobody knows exactly what kind of discomfort they're personally going to go through. But no matter what you've got in your head about what you think it's going to be like, just think about all the pain and suffering that you are going through now that is forcing you, is highlighting your need to quit drinking. And also think about what is around the corner, what's waiting around the corner for you, you know, for your future self if you don't quit. You know, think about all the hangovers that you've had, the bad hangovers. Think about all the embarrassing moments when you've embarrassed yourself or you've embarrassed your family, your friends, because of your drinking. Once you do quit, once you get this drug out of your system altogether, once you understand the level of disaster that this drug is to everyone, once you understand that the suffering and the pain were caused by taking the drug, not by giving it up, and that being free of the drug has opened up all sorts of possibilities in your life. Once you understand that, then you will only look back with happiness that you got out while the going was good. I've talked about this before, about the recovery process, and I believe that when you're drinking, your body is in this permanent state of emergency recovery. It's a very stressful state to be putting your body under. I mean, basically you pour toxins into your system and your body goes into emergency override and is fighting basically for your life, fighting for its life, trying to deal with the amount of toxins that are in the body, and it can only do that at a specific rate per hour. Some people are more, some people less, but it's generally on average about 1 unit of alcohol per hour, which is what, half a pint of beer, something like that. I can't remember. 1 small glass of wine. You know, and the longer you drink, the more time your body is going to spend in this emergency mode. You know, and think about how stressful that is for your body, for your whole body, your whole system. While your body is doing this, while your liver is doing this, it can't be doing the normal day-to-day cleaning up and functioning that it's supposed to be doing. And it manages to decrease the overall levels of toxicity in the body, and it's making a headway into it, and all of a sudden you reintroduce more of the toxin into your body, and your liver has to start, your whole body has to start all over again, all right from the top again. It's basically damage limitation. And it's only after you've quit drinking that your body can get out of that cycle, that emergency cycle, and start doing what it's supposed to be doing, the recovery, the proper recovery, the healing process. And your body is really, really good at doing that. So like I say, it's just an alternative way of looking at the cravings and the symptoms. You know, if you look at it from the perspective of the amount of suffering that is happening before you've quit, the amount of suffering, not only are you putting yourself through, your mind, your body, you're putting your whole life through, but you're putting the lives of other people through all this suffering as well. And you know, if you look at that beforehand and look at the benefits of quitting drinking and weigh that up against the discomfort, the minor discomforts that you're going to go through for a while, but know that it's a healing thing and that you are getting better. This process is going to get better. The process before you stop drinking, that's never going to get better. That's going to get worse and worse and worse. And it's simple to quit alcohol. You simply stop drinking it. You move on and you get on with your life. Until next time, I'm Kevin O'Hara for Alcohol Mastery. Onwards and upwards.